Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are fit and happy. So, dear students, in this video, we are going to study about pteridophytes. So, pteridophytes, here you will see the differentiation of the plant body. So, the main dominant phase is sporophyte, means the plant body is diploid, and it has true stem, true leaf and true roots present. And dear students, these are the seedless vascular plants. Vascular plants are there, means they have xylem and phloem tissue. And these plants, they are found in cool, shady places or in sandy soil. So let us see the other features of pteridophytes. So the main plant body is diploid. It is multicellular, photosynthetic and vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem, they are present, and it is having dominant phase, that is sporophyte, and the plant body is differentiated. So dear students, here in this plant body you will find that there are three different types of leaves. There will be large leaf, that is referred to as macrophyll. There will be a small leaf, that is referred to as microphyll, and there are special leaf that are known as sporophyll, which will have sporangia. So the special leaves, they are known as sporophyll. These have sporangia. So inside the sporangia there will be formation of spores. So dear students, you are observing here on the leaf, that is sporophyll, these brown color structure, they are sporangia, which will bear spores. So let us learn here about, so this is the plant body, that is sporophyte, and here the sporophyte has special leaf that is known as sporophyll, and on the sporophyll there is sporangia. In this sporangia there will be meiosis division, and which will lead to formation of spores. So the main plant body of pteridophyte, it is diploid, and spore formation will take place by meiosis, and these spores are haploid spores. So as in algae you have observed that zygote, it was single celled sporophyte. In bryophyte you have observed that there was capsule in which meiosis was taking place and spore was formed. But in pteridophyte there are sporangia present, and these sporangia, they are present on special leaf known as sporophyll. These sporangia, inside the sporangia there will be formation of spores. Why? Meiosis, cell division. Then there is another term you should know, that is cone or strobili. So dear student, cluster of sporophylls bearing sporangia, it is referred to as cone or strobili. So strobili is basically cluster of sporophyll. So let us see here. This strobilus, it is found in Selaginella equisetum plant, but in ferns this strobilus is not formed. So let us learn about another characteristic feature of pteridophytes, that is about homosporous and heterosporous condition. So let us learn here. So homosporous pteridophyte is one which will bear spores, and these spores, they are similar in shape and size. So the spores are similar in size, so that condition is referred to as homosporous. So in heterosporous pteridophyte, the spores will be, one will be large, other one will be small. So small and large spore is present in heterosporous pteridophytes, that is spores dissimilar. One will be large and the other one will be small. Now dear student, let us know the life cycle of fern, which is a homosporous pteridophyte. So homosporous pteridophyte is one which have the spores that are all similar in size. So here pteridophyte, that is main plant body is sporophyte, diploid. So this is the sporophyte. Here, starting from the A figure, you are observing sporophyte, that is diploid structure, and this sporophyte has special leaf that is referred to as sporophyll, and on the sporophyll they will be having sporangia. Now sporophyte is diploid. Sporophyll, which is a part of sporophyte, it is also diploid. Sporangia is also diploid. Now in this sporangia, spore formation will take place by meiosis cell division, and after that spores will be formed. And since the spores are formed by meiosis, the spores are haploid. These spores, they will undergo mitosis and they will germinate and they will form gametophyte. Gametophyte here in pteridophyte, it is referred to as prothallus. Now spores have undergone mitosis and they have formed the prothallus. Spores were haploid. Similarly, prothallus is also a haploid structure, haploid gametophyte. This prothallus, it is multicellular, it is green, and since it is green, it can perform photosynthesis, and this is monoecious structure, means it has both male and female sex organ present on it. Male sex organ, it is referred to as antheridium, and female sex organ is referred to as archegonium. Both are present on the prothallus. This prothallus, it is free living since it can perform photosynthesis, and it is not dependent on the sporophyte. As in bryophyte, we have observed that the sporophyte, it was dependent on the main plant body of bryophyte, that is gametophyte, but here the gametophyte, it is not dependent on the main plant body of pteridophyte, that is sporophyte. So gametophyte is not dependent on sporophyte in pteridophyte. Now this gametophyte, it will form gametes. So antheridium, it will form the sperms and archegonium will form the egg. Now egg and sperm, they will fuse and they will form oospore, which is a zygote, and this is diploid. And this zygote, it will undergo mitosis division and will form multicellular sporophyte. So this is the life cycle of fern, homosporous pteridophyte. So here we have observed that how a diploid structure, sporophyte, it has formed the spores. These spores, they have germinated and they have given rise to gametophyte, that is prothallus, which again form the gametes, and after fertilization the diploid zygote is formed. This undergone mitosis and again we get the multicellular sporophyte with the true stem, leaf and root. So this is all for today. Take care everyone.